welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my homemade pizza. So first of all, pizza is my very favorite food of all time. Come at me if you don't like pizza, it's the best. So I've been making this specific recipe for about 6 years now. I think I found it on Pinterest or something, and it's just for the crust. The sauce and the toppings that you want to put on it is pretty much your own thing, but this is a crust recipe. But I'm going to show you how I put everything together, how you cook it and all that kind of stuff. I will be leaving the entire recipe down in the description below, so if you want to try and make this yourself, it is super simple. So let's get into this. Alright, so first you want to get you a pretty good sized bowl to mix everything in. So first we're going to add in some yeast. So this is just a packet of active dry yeast. Pretty cheap. I think a 3-pack of these at Aldi's is like not even $1, so pretty affordable. And what I love about this recipe is you don't have to wait for the yeast to rise or anything like that. This is very quick. So we're going to add that into our bowl. I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, this is where it might get a little weird. So the recipe that I originally found when I was making this, it was for a double batch. So I pretty much halved everything just to make one pizza dough. So you're going to need a 1/6 cup of sugar. So basically just get you a 1/3 cup measuring cup and just do half of that. So if you can see that, about half of the cup. It's a little confusing, you don't really hear a 1/6 of a cup measurement very often. Next we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And as you can see, I'm a little bit of a messy cook. Whoops. Then we're going to add 1 cup of warm water. Then you just want to stir this up. It's going to look like a gloopy type liquid. So there's what it looks like. Do not be alarmed, you know, if you make this yourself, it is going to look gloopy like this. And another thing about this recipe that I love is that you don't have to have a fancy mixer or anything like that to make this dough. Okay, so I've let this sit for a few minutes because you do want to give the yeast at least a few minutes to activate with that warm water, but you don't have to let this sit for hours or anything like that. So after you've done that, you are going to add in about 1.5 cups more of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to add this in kind of gradually. Just put a little bit in there. Then back to our 1/6 cup measurements, you're going to add a 1/6 cup of oil. I'm using canola oil. I don't think it has to specifically be canola oil, but you're going to add about a 1/6 cup on top of that. So here's what it'll look like after you've got it mixed up pretty good. Okay, so next I do have, you're seeing this correctly, this is a rectangle pan, because for whatever reason when I make homemade pizza, most of the time I do it in a rectangle pan. I have no idea why. I've made this pizza many times in a circle form, but most of the time I just grab for this pan because I really like this pan. So you don't have to do it in a rectangle if you don't want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the bottom of this. Then we're just gonna get our dough and plop it down on there. It is a little bit sticky, so that's why I like to have some flour just sitting nearby so I can dip my hand in it. We're just gonna, I'll just sprinkle a little bit on top here. Just get it coated really good. And then you're just gonna start basically kneading the dough. But this is not very labor intensive. You're not gonna have to do this for 20 minutes or anything. You're basically just mixing it a little bit more by hand. So if you can see how this looks. Once you get it coated in flour, it's not sticky like at all. Like this is pretty much just flour on my hands. Just gonna knead it around a little bit. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If you got a ton of flour left over on your pan, you might want to dump that out, because you don't want that, really a ton of that on the bottom of your pizza crust. So I'm just gonna knock some of that excess out into my sink. Alright, next I'm going to spray my pan with some no stick spray. Alright, we're just gonna pull up this baby down and we are going to spread it all out. This is not going to fit in in this entire pan. This is a 17 by 11 pan. So you probably could, if you really worked, you could get it to fit in this whole pan, but it would be super, super thin crust. So I'm just gonna work on getting this spread out. Alright, I think I've pretty much got it. I mean, it's pretty close to the edge here, but you know, it's thinned out as much as I want it to be thinned out. Now we get to start the fun part and add all the sauce and toppings. Alright, so from here on out, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I've just got some Prego sauce. I pretty much just use whatever kind of spaghetti sauce I have at the house and pop the top on it. And then just put as much sauce onto the pizza as you desire. I like a lot of sauce. So, and this smells really good. As you can see, I didn't really form any kind of crust on this. I just kind of left it, you know, flat. If you want to, you can kind of crimp at the edges a little bit. But that's just totally up to you. Let's just go ahead and do that all the way around. Just a little bit of crimp around the edges. Okay. There we go. I adjusted a little bit. We've got us a nice aerial shot. Okay, so I think I've got all the sauce on there that I want. You guys might think, whoa, she really likes her sauce. So, okay. Now we're gonna add a little bit of cheese. So I've got this, I got from Aldi, and I've actually never got this kind before. It's their Italian style. It's got mozzarella, provolone, romano, Asiago, and Parmesan in it. So I have used it for something. I don't even remember what I used it on, but I haven't used this for pizza before. So we're just gonna go to town with this. I love cheese as well. So just gonna cover this baby in cheese. I love this recipe. Like I said, I've been making this for about 6 years now, and this is a regular at my house. I mean, I would say at least a couple times a month I make a homemade pizza, so we really like it. If you guys try this recipe, let me know how it turns out, because I've always been pretty proud of this recipe, even though it's not my recipe. Like, once I found it, I was like, oh, this is a keeper. I'm definitely using this recipe all the time. So that's probably enough cheese, I would say. Now, I'm not gonna go crazy with toppings. I love pizza, but I am a picky eater, so I don't want a lot of, you know, vegetables or anything crazy on my pizza. I'm pretty much just like a, you know, a meat and cheese kind of girl. So we are just gonna add some good old pepperonis to this. Okay, so after that, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of bacon bits on it. Not too much, you know, just a nice little amount. Give you some nice little bacon flavor on your pizza. And then recently I've been doing this. I'll sprinkle a little bit of garlic salt, just because I love the taste of garlic. And it has some parsley in there too. But once again, you want to go pretty easy with this because you get too much salt and it can be overwhelming. So that's good right there. Can't even hardly tell that I did anything. Alright, so here it is. It's ready to go in the oven. It is ready to be cooked. We're going to cook this at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. Just check it. You'll know it's done. These edges will get pretty brown, not too brown, but I will show you what mine looks like when I take it out of the oven. So let's cook it. Also sipping on some LaCroix while I wait for my pizza to get done. Mango LaCroix. I love this stuff. It like quenches my thirst so well. This is not a commercial, but LaCroix, if you want to sponsor me. So here's the finished product, guys. It looks so good. And don't worry, the edges look a little white, but I did check underneath. And as you can see, it is just perfect color underneath. And it's even, you can even see it there where it's breaking apart. Nice consistency. And you can also tell from this angle that the yeast does make it give a little bit of rise to it. So there you go. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already because I post a brand new video every single Friday. And I hope you guys like when I do recipe videos like this. Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!